Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I'm doing something very different. Today we're gonna be reading my story. Just cringe. Note that it's supposed to be cringe and relatively funny. So yeah, I wrote this yesterday because I was bored, obviously. So why else would you write a book besides, well, you're bored. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. Okay, ready? BRUHHHHS by Christopher852, inspired by Hero Brian Studios, Enborn, and Evan Banzap. 2022, obviously not copyrighted. Prologue. This all starts in the land of the Bruhs. All there is a trash can, a motorcycle poster in the front yard, and a house. The whole Bruh community was hanging out in a stinky old shoe until Tyler farted once again. Everyone panicked. Um, I was the only one that didn't fall off of the 2-inch high table in the living room. Everyone else got tangled up in the forest high carpet like ants in a rug. I let down my hair and got Cameron, my best bro, up from the carpet, leaving Tyler and Evan alone in the deep, dark, murky, soggy carpet. All throughout dinner, I was just thinking about all the times that Tyler farted or told a disgusting joke at the table and made me throw up. But then I remembered that the boys were still out there, which meant that I had to go venture far and wide for Evan. And maybe Tyler. Will I be able to save them? Bum, bum, bum. Chapter 1. The venture commences. It has been 3,523 seconds since the tragedy had happened, but I wasn't ready to give up. Cameron and I had finally made it all the way to the edge of the ruler, where the drop was almost 2 inches and 3 millimeters high. I had to to pass that sticky mental wall of mine and jump off the ruler into the pile of gum. It was time. I took a deep breath, and Cameron dropped his stake and hit me off. It was quite hard to get out of the gum, but I finally managed to get off to safety. Cameron said that he had left his stuffed animal back at the house and went to go get it. I waited over a couple seconds and realized that he had left me. I started to venture off to the abyss. Chapter 2. The Mental State. The windy, warped carpet drove me into an inescapable mental asylum. There was only one thing in the entire multi-universe that could pull me out. Tyler. The unexplainable, incomprehensible, mystifying, almighty fart of Tyler Giberson. This spirit-like entity could have wiped out millions, if not billions, of Jedis before him. The fart had almost had a mind of its own and could reproduce at rapid speeds, but chooses not to because of its already fatal, painless smell that will, if not already, eliminate the whole universe within a few seconds, with very few survivors. The state of mind was cold and black. I could not see anything in the path in front of me. All of a sudden, something or someone brushed up against me. I started to run aimlessly throughout the dense forest. I was still running until I tripped on what seemed to be a rope and fell into a squishy mud-like puddle and fell into darkness. Chapter 3. The Man in the Mask. The Man in the Mask. I was woken up by a strange smell after being in a peaceful, dreamy state for what felt like days. I struggled to get myself to open my eyes from the extreme drowsiness of the incident. I opened my eyes but saw nothing. A shadow moved from one side of my range of sight to the other. I started to panic again, but this time someone said something. The man calmed me down and touched my face. I couldn't feel it, but then realized he was just readjusting a mask-like structure that he had made out of carpet string and a bacon crumb. He told me to calm down and said that the mask should help with the drowsiness I had just experienced before. I then thanked him and asked what that dreadful smell was. Chapter 4. Tyler and I continued the search for Evan. The smell was surprisingly familiar. It turns out that the man was Tyler. He saved my life. He had told me that he would work on containing the fart more effectively before, but never tried, so now he promised to create such a vessel to contain that demon. After a breakfast containing breadcrumbs and tea droplets, we were ready to carry on with the search for Evan. They were the longest days of my life. We set out along the great planks, into the bottoms of the dishwasher, and across the 7 sinks. We were ready to give up when out of nowhere we saw Evan peacefully bathing in a glass of milk. We tried calling out to him, but he was too high, so we had to climb up to the top of Mount Milk. Chapter 5. Everyone has a great time without Cameron. When we got to the top, we saw Evan watching Mr. Beast on the 4.58-inch HD big screen phone, so we watched with him. After a few hours, I was getting worried about Cameron. What if he gets worried about us and starts the journey by himself? I try to tell Evan and Tyler that it's time to go, but they're having too much fun watching Mr. Beast in slow-mo on full volume. The moment I start to leave, they start to follow me. They said that they're sorry and gave me a Cheeto. We're finally off to the races and start heading home. We were joking around and somersaulting down the mountain when we hear Mr. Beast's song turn into a horror song. We are all puzzled by this strange transition from having a jolly old time to get ready to fight. We then all forget about this, but then there is a loud thump and we get shot up off our feet into the air. Chapter 6. The Beast. We were all startled to death, even to the point that Evan almost passed out. Wait, after he woke up, we see that he was acting. Wait, what? Right. Hold on. Chapter 6. The Beast. We are all startled to death, even to the point that Evan almost passed out. After he woke up, we see that he is acting weird, so Tyler and I ask him what's up. He doesn't tell us. He doesn't tell us, but later that evening he went out to go to the bathroom, but never comes back. We wait a little longer just to make sure, but sure enough, he never comes back. We then go out from camp to look for him. He's just standing there, pale as ever. Evan was trembling in fear. A big dark shadow quickly moved across the rift, quickly turning all of our heads while leaving Evan saying, "It's here. The beast is here." We are all stopped in our tracks when we see a big flat stone with lots of divots coming down towards us. I barely escaped the falling boulder, but leaving Evan and Tyler under that huge stone. It was quickly lifted by some supernatural force. Evan had found himself trapped in one of the divots, while Tyler was squished just enough to have him unleash his demon. The smell was once again unbearable, but we all got away. As the boulder was lifted, I realized that it was connected to a bigger version of, well, me or any other human being. Evan went up to me and told me about his encounters with the beast. He came up with the same conclusions as me. It was a giant human that was heading towards our house. Chapter 7. The Battle and the Beast. We all got prepared for the battle against the beast. The first thing we took care of was eating, and then eating again, and then gathering weapons. Evan collected rope to tie up the beast while I got needles, and of course Tyler was eating to charge up his nuclear weapon for the final blow. We caught up with the beast and noticed that Cameron was about to get eaten and swallowed into the galactic portal into hell, as Evan described. He whipped out the Evan whipped out the lassos and caught the beast's toe, and I poked it with the needle. The beast started to yell and reached down towards his feet. This was our final chance. Tyler locked and loaded the secret weapon and fired it, like he had smashed an Xbox controller on the ground. The blow was just as harmful as a pinch of onion to the beast. It started to laugh, and it started to laugh and started to reach for us. We started to run when we felt ourselves getting grabbed by huge fingers, like getting smashed between two walls. I started to panic, as we were getting closer and closer to the beast's mouth. But then, Chapter 8: The Beast's Real Identity. The beast stopped. The "it" was now a he, and looked very cheerful. He set us down on the table just outside the house. He left for just a few minutes, and I thought he was gone. As I very obviously looked confused, Cameron started to fill me in. He said that thing that we would refer to as the Beast is actually the one and only Mr. Beast. He said that he was not going to try to eat us or harm us in any way, and that he was scared at first too, but when they got to know each other. He also said that he asked him to go find us because he got worried sick for us. As Mr. Beast came back, back with a camera crew ready to go and or, bleh. As Mr. Beast came back, he had a wait, oh my gosh, that's such a bad typo. As Mr. Beast came back, he had a camera crew ready to go and film. We were going to be superstars, I thought as the rest of the crew came rushing in. We all had a great time together while making viral videos for the rest of our YouTube careers. It was all great until to be continued. That is going to wrap up the video for today. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. If you have any ideas for the next book, I guess, because I this was really fun to do, but yeah, so comment down below any ideas, and that being said, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time in a brand new video.